10 problems that can be solved by Asperger separatism. This is an order of magnitude of how bad it is. Okay, so number one is mass shootings. Studies have shown that like 20% of mass shooters are autistic. And when I say mass shooters, I don't mean like random gang members. I'm talking about like one's motivated by uh, mental illness that has a high death toll, and it's not motivated by drugs like most mass shootings are. Like, autistic people are very commonly mistreated, and they can start to become resentful and don't really have a healthy outlet or people who they can relate to, so they just like blow up and go postal. So if we had our own separate communities, these things would be a lot less common. Okay, number two is social isolations. If we had our own community, uh, we would find it much easier to relate to each other because humans are simply, like all species, are hardwired to be around people who think like them. Number three is unemployment. Working is a social endeavor, and like school, the more connected you are to your coworkers, the more motivated you'll be to work, and the longer you're going to stay there. Like most people uh, make friends at work or school, and it's pretty much their social life. Anyways, number four is homelessness. Some studies have shown that autistic people are up to 12% of the homeless population, and another study has shown that uh, the unemployment rate is 85%. I personally do not believe that because that study was uh, a survey of people who are requesting benefits. However, it's definitely a double digit percentage of high functioning autistic people who are unemployed. Number five is just making normies uncomfortable. Like normies either view us as school shooters or they pretend to be nice to us in fear of being rude. So the smartest thing to do is only interact with people like us so that we don't make them uncomfortable, and also they don't make us uncomfortable because we're simply hardwired to have much larger amygdalas on average. So we feel anxiety stronger for primarily organic reasons that we can't really do much about. Number six is bullying. Like studies have shown that I think it's 90 or 80% of autistic people are bullied at some point in their life. I personally have, mm, I wouldn't really say uh, uh, mistreatment. Most of the negative interactions I've had with people were mutual. And I honestly, I admit, started by me because I kind of don't like the mainstream culture of our society with the rap nonsense. And it's kind of like being mistreated as an autistic person is pretty much a guarantee. It's like why the nerd always gets bullied in movies. Okay. Number seven is general malaise. Like if we had our own social community, a place where you can work, people you can relate to, rather than being individually alienated, you would feel a lot less stress, less anger, less embarrassment, less depression, less anxiety. Because humans are social creatures, and like this one YouTuber called TCAV said, uh, a lot of vices like alcoholism, video game addiction, porn addiction, internet addiction come from the lack of a sense of belonging. And it's very important to have a sense of belonging for biological reasons. Number eight is uh, boredom. Like, boredom and loneliness are pretty much the same thing. Like, if you don't have anyone to interact with, you're not gonna have much of a reason to live, really. Like, there's a reason why they put inmates in solitary confinement. Uh, Humans are, like I said, social creatures, so we definitely need to interact with other people. It's not really neurologically possible to enjoy life without having some sort of social interaction. Like, I personally don't think I'd make it very long. Actually, I think I'd either be in Princeton studying physics right now, or would have developed a even worse mental disorder if I didn't have internet access and could talk to quote unquote people. When I say quote unquote people, I'm not dehumanizing them. I'm saying that internet friends don't really, like, it's not the same thing as having real life friends. Yeah, they can lead to another, and it usually it's kind of necessary these days. But it's just having internet friends is just not sufficient. Like, you need real life friends. Number nine is political radicalization. Uh, I'm not necessarily saying that this is a bad thing, but it relates to the number one problem that I list, which is mass shootings. Like, a lot of past mass shooters, like Brenton Tarrant, like, who were motivated by political quote unquote extremism, have either described themselves as autistic or been formally diagnosed autistic. So, and if you have social feedback, you're not gonna go too much on the fringes to where you develop illogical, as they say, crazy views. And number 10 is uh, just general unpleasant sensory experiences for people like us. Like, we would be conscious of the fact that loud noises and certain types of food and certain images or architecture even are very bothersome, specifically to people like us, and we wouldn't make extremely loud sounds, wouldn't yell at each other, wouldn't post like triggering images, unlike normies who are less sensitive to that stuff. So yeah, this is why instead of just broadly advocating for Asperger separatism, I made 10 definite points that explain why we need to start self segregating.